I can learn from the previous experience. But how the machine will learn? The machine is learning. So machine learning. So the concept is machine has to learn. How the machine will learn is one important part is data. Data is the heart of the machine learning. So without data, we cannot do anything in machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence. So anywhere for machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence, the heart of the machine learning is data. Without the data, we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything without data. The data is the heart of machine learning. We cannot do anything without data. Without data. So here machine can learn. Here machine can learn from the data. So with the data only machine can. So for example, so something I wanted to find. I wanted to find share market data is there. Share market data. I wanted to estimate whether the person will gain the more profit or not. Whether he will get the more profit or not. So if he is having some 6 months data or 1 year data, 6 months data or 1 year data, or some previous year's data, from that we can estimate so whether he will get the profit or loss. Means in order to do machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence, the main concept is data. Without the data, we cannot do anything. So what data we are going to work? So in the later classes, we will see how to work with data, what kind of files we are going to get. Mostly, so in the industry, they will give CSV files, Excel files, JSON data, so some other formats. So CSV files, Excel files, so they are going to give. So we need to estimate something. So one more example, diabetes data, or cancer data, or heart disease data, or some other data, diabetes data. So with the given data, I need to, so something there, details are given like insulin, BMI, diabetes pedigree function, and finally they given, so whether the person is having diabetes or not. Diabetes or not. Diabetes or not. So with the given data, I need to train my model. Here the terms we are going to call it as training. We are going to train the model. One more term is model. After training, the model will get the knowledge. The model will get the knowledge. With the knowledge for the model, so for the given model, we give the inputs for this model. If you give the inputs, it has to identify whether the person is having diabetes or not. So the concept is we are going to train the model. After training the model will get the knowledge, and from that knowledge, if I give the inputs, it has to identify. Here the problem is diabetes data, so that's why I'm telling. If I give the inputs, it has to identify whether the person having diabetes or not. Before training, there is no knowledge for the model. Before training, so there is no knowledge. Before training, so there is no knowledge. After training, model will get the knowledge. Model will get knowledge, and we can call it as a smart app, smart application. After training, we are going to get the knowledge, means model will get the knowledge. From that knowledge, it will classify the input, or it will means whatever the requirement, it will give that requirement. So that application we are going to call it as a smart application. So this is the simple words. What is machine learning? For machine learning, the main important thing is data. Without data, it is not possible to do anything in machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence. So this is machine learning. So then what we are going to do in deep learning or artificial intelligence. Next, deep learn, machine learning and deep learning. So machine learning, I told we are going to give the inputs and we are going to get the output. So the thing in machine learning, so we are going to give the inputs, and finally what I need to get is output. I need to get output. In machine learning, we are going to give the inputs, so we need output. Inputs, and finally we are going to get the estimated output. So to do this, we have a lot of machine learning algorithms. So don't worry, what are those algorithms? We will discuss in the later classes. We have a lot of algorithms to classify the input into output. So next, deep learning. So deep learning also, there is a concept, similar concept. The deep learning also, we have the similar concept, inputs and outputs. Between inputs and outputs, there are some other layers called as hidden layers. There are some other layers called as hidden layers. So with the given input, we are going to apply these hidden layers, and finally we are going to give it the output. Similar to machine learning, between inputs and outputs, there is one more layer called as hidden layers. Between inputs and outputs, there is one more layer called as hidden layers. Hidden layers. So why we require hidden layers? These are also called as neurons. Like human brain, we have neurons concept. In machine learning also, these hidden layers were called as neurons. Like human brain, we have neurons concept, right? Like in deep learning, we have neurons. So these are called as hidden layers. Between input and output, we have one more layer called as hidden layers. So why I require hidden layers and why we require means, for example, just I will take simple example. So when we will go for machine learning, when we will go for deep learning, we will see one example. So for example, I have photos, some photos. So men and women or boy and girl, some photos are there. Some 100 photos are there. My requirement or my task is to identify whether the photo is a man or woman. Here, so if you see the differences between men and women, so there will be lot of differences. Like maybe hairstyle or dressing. So there will be lot of differences will be there. So then it is easy to classify men and women. In that case, we will go for machine. Machine learning, when we will go for machine learning is, if there are lot of differences, lot of differences and only few similarities, then we will go for machine learning. If there are a lot of differences and only few similarities, then we will go for machine learning. And next, deep learning. Something I need to identify the twin brothers. So there are twin brothers photos are there. So I need to identify who is younger and who is elder. So the task is identify who is younger, who is elder. If you see the photos of twin brothers, the maximum characteristics are differences are very less, similarities are more. Similarities are more. Differences are very less. Differences are very less. In this case, we will go for deep learning. What is deep learning means wherever we are not able to apply machine learning, in this case, we need to write one more layer called as hidden layers. By writing hidden layers, we can find complex patterns. The concept in deep learning is to find complex patterns. So we need to write one more layer, that is neurons, that is hidden layers, to identify the complex. These two are okay, means machine learning and deep learning. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence. The name itself it is telling artificially made intelligence. 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 For example, if you see the nowadays self-driving cars or self-driving bicycles, self-driving bicycles. They are planning self-driving metros, self-driving metros. So what in artificial intelligence we are going to do means, or if you observe a robo cinema. So robo cinema is a best example. So I think almost all they saw this robo cinema. If you observe robo cinema, this is the best example for artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence means? The machine has to think completely like human being. The machine has to think completely like human brain, human being. What is artificial intelligence is, so the machine has to think completely like human being. So how it has to think means, for example, if I take self-driving car, so how it has to think, if it is going in a road, first important point is it has to identify the objects. It has to identify the objects. Identify the objects. So for example, if it is going in a road, so some man is going, directly if it won't identify that person, so directly it will make the accident. Instead of that, it has to identify whether any object is going on in the road, or so any traffic lights. So it has to stop. If it is a red light, if it is a green light, it has to go. Means like human brain, it has to think like completely human brain. That is artificial intelligence. Here also we are going to apply all the machine learning, deep learning algorithms only. But by applying those algorithms, it has to think like completely human brain. So this is the relationship about machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. If you learn machine learning, you can apply all these machine learning algorithms and deep learning algorithms means. So what are the different types of algorithms? In the later classes, we will see there are a lot of algorithms are there. What are the machine learning algorithms? All those algorithms we will see in the later classes. So just to remember, so if the differences are more, similarities are less, then we will go for machine learning. If the differences are less and similarities are more, then we will go for deep learning. So machine learning, just I will give a single word. The differences are more. Differences are more. Similarities are less. Similarities are less. So then in that case, we will go for machine learning and deep learning. If similarities are more, similarities are more and differences are less. Differences are less. And artificial intelligence means if I need to design a machine which is completely like human brain, human being, then I can go for artificial. And now, so why I need Python to implement this? The first question is, so there are a lot of languages are available, Java, .NET or R language. There are a lot of languages are available. So why we will go for Python only? So why I require Python? So before I will discuss something about Python, first I need to means clarity means I need to make you clarity that so why I need to use Python. Because if I don't tell why I'm going to use Python, just if I teach Python or machine learning, so you don't understand what is the importance of Python. Means why I need Python in machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence. Already, so all you know, .NET, Java, or R language, or some other languages. There are a lot of languages are available. Why I will go for Python? So Python, the first point, it is completely open source. Open source. Completely open source. What is the meaning of open source means? It is freely available. Freely available. No need to pay a single rupee for this. No need to pay a single rupee for this. Single rupee for this. Previously, Java also open source. From Java 8 onwards, they made it as a license. So that's why most of the industry, they are looking for Python. And it is completely open source. Anyone can download, anyone can work with this. So no need to pay a single rupee for it. No need to pay a single rupee for this. The first point is completely open source. So anyone can download this, anyone can work on this with this Python, no need to pay a single rupee for this. And it is platform independent. Platform independent. Independent. So what is platform independent means? The second point is platform independent. So if I write some Python code, the Python file we are going to indicate with .py. So every program, so after writing some ABC program.py means it is one Python file. So once if I write a Python code, For example, I written the code in Windows, whether it will work on Linux or Mac OS or some other OS or Mac OS or some other OS, whether it will work means the answer is yes. So it is platform independent. So what is the concept in Python is the right ones reuse anywhere. The right ones reuse anywhere. Reuse anywhere. No need to change a single line of code or single line of sentence syntax. So if I write the program in some Windows environment, no need to change a single syntax. Whatever you are going to write, that complete file, so without changing any modifications, it can run, it can work anywhere. It can work anywhere. Now, the next point. One of the most important point, why we will go for machine learning or deep learning or artificial intelligence. So why we are going for Python is most important point. Extensive library. Extensive library. Extensive library. So the most important point is extensive library support. What advantage I will get with extensive library support is it is having lot of libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Scikit-learn, 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 TensorFlow, Keras, TensorFlow, TensorFlow, Keras, and so on. So we have a lot of libraries in Python. A lot of libraries in Python. So what advantage we will get by using these libraries is what advantage we will get with these libraries is, so for example, I am implementing some machine learning algorithm decision trees. Decision trees. What is decision tree? We will see in the later classes. So just I'm giving some example. I'm implementing some decision tree algorithm. If I don't use this Python, if I use some Java or .NET, I need to write hundreds of lines of code. Hundreds of lines of code. If I don't use this Python libraries, if I directly implement with a Java or .NET, I need to write hundreds of lines of code. Hundreds of lines of code. Without using Python, something .NET or Java or some other programming language, I need to write hundreds of lines of code. But by using this Python, if I use this scikit-learn, there is one package called as scikit-learn package. Scikit-learn package. In this package, already that decision tree is implemented. So something decision tree classifier. Decision tree classifier is one method which is already implemented in this scikit-learn. If I import this package, so directly within 5 to 10 lines of code, I can write that. Just it is enough 5 to 10 lines of code because it is already implemented in this package. No need to implement again. No need to implement again this decision tree concept. So no need to implement again and writing that code. So just I can import this package. Already everything is implemented. I can write within 5 to 10 lines of code to that decision tree. That is advantage we will get. So what it means is we can reduce a lot of lines of code if we use these Python packages. We can reduce of code use packages. Packages. We can reduce lots of code if we use packages. So this is the next advantage. And so we can see in our this course, I will show you how to make the packages also. How to already predefined packages. These are predefined packages. I show you how to create our own packages. We can create our own packages also. We can create our own packages also. We will see that thing. How to create our own packages. Next, a combination of multiple programming languages. Multiple programming languages. It will support a lot of programming languages. Support is there. First one is procedure oriented. Procedure oriented programming. Directly Python community are telling all C programming features it will support. C program like functions, so whatever C programming is having, all those features it will support. All the functions, how we are going to write a function. Function is nothing but a block of statements. So in Python, we have block of statements. Yes, there is some network issue. So that is first one is procedure oriented programming, and so it will support object oriented program. Nowadays, every means every project or everywhere, so they are expecting this object oriented programming. So why object oriented programming is important means, so this object oriented programming is very important. The Python community they are telling, so this Python is supporting all C++ object oriented features. C++ object oriented features. So like class, object, inheritance, and so on. So this Python will support all the object-oriented programming features. So what is the advantage we will get with object-oriented programming features is we will get security. Most what feature we will get from object-oriented programming is security. So without this object-oriented programming, like before object-oriented programming C++, we have C programming. In C programming, there is no security concept. there is no security concept. So there is no security concept. So why there is no security concept means if I declare something, so int something string password. So if I declare some variable string password, string username, or something string int balance or float balance. So if I declare like this in C programming, anyone can access my variables. Means they can know my password, username, everything they can know. So there is no security in C programming. But if you use this object-oriented programming class and object concept, so something details class I will declare. If I declare all these variables within this class, string password, string username, and so on. What advantage we will get here is until unless if I create an object for this, I create an object for this. Until unless I will create an object for this, I cannot able to access this variables. And so yeah, until unless I have knowledge about this class, I cannot create an object. So the points here is if I don't have the knowledge about this class, I cannot create an object. Until unless I will create an object for this, I cannot access this class. So that's why provided in object-oriented programming. And so this Python also supports scripting features, scripting features, scripting features. Every Python file we are going to call it as a .py file. We are going to call it as a script. Once if you write a script, so you can import anywhere. So the concept is so write once, and reuse anywhere. Reuse anywhere. Write once, reuse anywhere. So write once this Python program and reuse anywhere. So we can import, how to import these Python files we will see in the later classes. We can easily create one Python file. So that is called as a script, and you can import that Python file wherever it is required. And last programming feature is it will support modular programming feature. Modular programming features. Modular programming features. So for example, if I'm developing some long, some task is like this. I'm developing some banking application. So if I have to develop some loans application, something home loan, vehicle loan, personal loan, and so on. If I wanted to develop this application, so something some 6 months or 1 year it is taking if a single programmer has to work. But our Python will support modules, means it will divide, we can divide it into a module 1, module 1, module 2, module 2, module 3, and so on. So what it will do means parallel programming it will allow. Parallel programming. Parallel programming. It is possible to do parallel programming. After doing parallel programming, we can make it as a packages. We will see all these concepts later classes. We can make it as a packages, modules, and we can use these packages, modules wherever it is required. So parallel programming. The important concept in Python is it will support parallel programming. Multiple programmers, they can work parallelly. Multiple programmers, they can work parallelly. They can work on these modules. They can combine these modules into packages. These are the different features. So mainly why we will go for machine learning is so this extensive library support. So all these packages we will see one by one. Why these packages? What are these packages? How this machine learning will means how we are going to use these packages in our machine learning. Next, one more simple feature is it is a dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language. Dynamically typed language. So if you see C programming or Java, so C or Java. So if I wanted to use some variable A or some variable, so if I wanted to use some variable in my programming, so in C or Java or .NET, so before using this variable, I need to declare that variable into A. So then it is possible to use A equal to 10. But if I directly use like this A equal to 10, then it will give an error undefined variable. If you see other programming languages like C, Java, .NET, if I wanted to use some variable A, then that variable must be defined with the data type in those programming languages. But in Python, but in Python, it is completely dynamically typed language. So no need to initialize, no need to declare before using. Directly based on the value assigned, it will take the data type of the variable. Something A equal to 10. So then it will take it as an integer. If I assign A equal to something like something, if I assign A equal to some name Manasa, so then it will take it as a string. Or if I assign something C equal to Rishabh, based on the value assigned, it will take the data type of the variable. No need to initialize before using. So directly based on the value assigned, it will take the data type of the variable. Something B equal to 10.5. So then it will taken it as a float. So what's happened in Python is based on the value assigned, it will take the data type of the variable. So no need to wait, means no need to declare initially like in float to D and then assign D equal to 10.5. So it is not like that. So based on the value assigned, so no need to do this. So it is not required. So directly assign the value to this variable, it will take the data type of the variable. So that is dynamically typed language. So these are the some of the features of Python in our course. The first 5 to 6 days we are 5 to 6 days, so 5 to 6 hours we are going to cover Python basics. If you are completely new to Python, also you can understand how to write a Python program. First, we will show you how to write a Python program. From the syntax onwards, I will show you how to run a Python program, how to write a Python program, and some important concepts like if-else statements. So these things are important to start with our machine learning. The loop like for loop and while statements, and then I will show you some packages and modules. Packages and modules. Something will give brief introduction about functions, objects. We will after getting the basic knowledge on Python, So directly we will see machine learning concepts. A lot of machine learning algorithms. We will discuss all those machine learning algorithms later.
Devanti sir, from your end signal lost. There's some signal lost.
Unmute me.
Yeah.
Two classes. One today only. Tomorrow I will check. So first few classes means if you are new to Python also don't fear how I can write programs. So I will give you some basic of Python. So if you get basic knowledge of Python, then we will start with machine learning. And then we will discuss machine learning NLP, what are so now we are at Python 3. So every industry they are looking for Python 3 because Python 3 is not compatible with Python 2. So if you write the code in Python 2 may or may not work in Python 3, like vice versa. So that's why I will show you means while writing the Python code also why I'm telling means so you need to download Python 3 only. So installation, so what you require means so you download Python 3 only. So you can download so the editors like you can use any editor. It is not restricted to use particular editor to work with programs. So you can use some simple notepad also you can use to write these programs. What are the editors required to work with this is Notepad or Sublime Text. So mainly we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. So why Jupyter Notebook? In tomorrow's class, we will see why Jupyter Notebook is required. So we are going to use Jupyter Notebook for machine learning. Most of the machine learning engineers, they are going to use Jupyter Notebook to work with these machine learning programs. And you can also use PyCharm or you can also download IDLE. So this IDLE is a Python community provided software. So integrated development language environment. So integrated language development environment or Sublime Text or Visual Studio Code. So there are a lot of editors are available which will support Python, but mostly we are going to use Jupyter Notebook and IDLE. And wherever it is required, I will show PyCharm also. I will show these three editors. So there are a lot of other editors like Sublime Text or Visual Studio Code. So this is Microsoft provided Visual Studio Code. It is also lightweight. It is also useful for running our Python programs. But mostly we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. To work with the Jupyter Notebook, just what you need to do is go to any browser. So type Anaconda. So Anaconda Python. Tomorrow before class, if you are able to install this, so that is very good. So just products, individual edition. Here you can find, so in the browser type Anaconda, so type download. Here you can find 3.7. So what are the versions? The latest version they developed is 3. Standard version they released is 3.8. Currently the work is going on 3.9. But this Jupyter Notebook, it will support up to 3.7. So download based on your requirement 64-bit or 32-bit, but download 3.7 version. So don't download 2.7 version because book supports 3.7. So download 3.7 version. Either download PyCharm or Jupyter Notebook. So both are good only to work with this machine learning. But most of the machine learning engineers, we are going to use Jupyter Notebook. And so ideally, so in order to download this, so just python.org, type in browser python.org, python.org. Here you can find downloads. You can see the latest version is 3.8.4. So you can download the latest version 3.8.4, or you can download 3.7. Or 3 plus is required, means we work with 3 plus version. So because these are not compatible with the older versions, so you need to download these latest versions. Click on download, you can get an exe file. So which site you need to open is python.org, one site, and another site is anaconda.com. So these two installations do before tomorrow's class. So one is Anaconda, another one is, so go to python.org. In this, so go to downloads. So download latest version. So download latest version. Since Jupyter Notebook, it is supporting 3.7, right? It is better in python.org also download 3.7 version only. So download Python 3.7 version only. So that is 3.7.8. So download this version because it will support Jupyter Notebook version also. So download this 3.7. So it will download some exe file. After downloading exe file in my system, it is already there. So just I will check. Just 2 minutes, we will stop. So here you can get some exe file. So click on, before clicking install now. So just remember one point, before clicking on install now, don't click install now. So before that, check this checkbox, add Python 3.7 to path. If you don't do this, you need to set manually the path. If you if you click this, so directly it will take the Python home. Means it will take that path. If you click install now, after that, click install now. Just it will take some 5 minutes to install this Python. So this is from python.org. Similarly, if you download Anaconda also, you can get one exe file. So there also you need to check one checkbox and then click on install now. So these two installations before tomorrow's class, do these two installations. One is from python.org, another from anaconda.com. There we are going to get Jupyter Notebook. So once if you download Anaconda, so you can get like this. Anaconda Navigator. After Anaconda Navigator, if you click that, so you can get the editor. So these two installations, do these two installations before tomorrow's class. One is from python.org, another from Python Anaconda. So just in Chrome or some other browser, wherever you require. So type Anaconda for Python. There download 3.7 version. Don't download 2.7 version. That is older version. And python.org also download 3.7. Latest is 3.8, but download 3.7. Because so we require Jupyter Notebook also, right? So download 3.7 version only. Jupyter Notebook, it will support only 3.7 up to 3.7 version. So once you download Anaconda, you are going to get like this. Here you can find Jupyter Notebook. If you click launch, it will open the editor where we are going to write our Python program. So here I have installed only Python 3. you are going to get Python 3. If you install Python 2, you are going to get Python 2. So I install Python 3, it is will open. Just I wanted to type. So to print something, we are going to use print. So welcome to Python data science classes. Welcome to. Just to print anything, we are going to use print statement in Python. Welcome to Python data science classes. So here we are going to write the Python programs. So these are called as cells. In these cells, we are going to write the Python programs. So what is your task is to install these two before tomorrow's class. So we'll stop here. So tomorrow we'll meet at same time.